How we doing? Back again for another video. This is maybe the first one of this year, probably. Back with my standard 2 videos a year. Updates, I suppose. A couple of quick updates. Octatrack's back. I don't know if I've mentioned this before in a previous video, but I sold it because I didn't know how to use it. I had no idea what I was doing, and I thought it was rubbish, so I sold it. But then realised that I never actually put the time in to figure out what it did properly. So got it back, figured out how to use it, love it. But the point of this video is to talk about my sort of redundancy of Eurorack. I got rid of it, everything. So if you remember from my previous videos, if you watch them, I started with the SV1 from Pittsburgh Modular, little semi-modular box, my sort of like gateway drug into the rabbit hole of modular stuff and CV. Loved it. Ended up getting a load of different other modules. Then ended up with like 3 tiers of 104 HP and loved it. I thought it was brilliant, but then wanted to get these speakers, so something had to go. So I sold the vast majority of it and ended up with a small pallet case from IntelliGel, of which I pretty much still got the same possibilities out of. So the main idea of it was like a little ambient box that I could just have generative ambient stuff on. I'll put a picture of that, what that was, just here, so you can see what I'm talking about. So you see in that, I had the sample drum, I had the Pamela's Pro Workout by ALM, Instro's Arbor, the Endorphins and Andrew Wang Ghost, which I've done separate videos on, I think, and the effects aid for some sort of end of chain effects. I also had a couple of little things at the bottom, like a line in, that FSR or FRS, whatever it is, a little touch sensitive thing, attenuators, just basically like extras at the bottom, like utility stuff at the bottom, stereo mixer and stuff like that. But I still had that craving for something analog. I still needed something analog. I still wanted like at least a couple of oscillators to mess around with. And then I thought, you know what? After looking at every possible video that was on it, I'm going to buy this. Bam. The Taiga, again, by Pittsburgh Modular. They can't lose, mate. Like, they just can't miss, bro. They're so, so good. I'm very, very happy with it. Just so you know, there's going to be no noise in this. I'm just going to be giving you my opinion on this synthesizer. And it's going to be my style of opinion. So it's not going to be like intricate details about how amazing this is and how perfect all of the different wave shapes. No, it's just going to be me saying that I think this is fucking brilliant. If you're into sound design and you're into sort of that analogy sound, you can't beat it. I'll be honest with you. At the price point, what you get in the size that you get it, banging. You can see I've still got a couple of little 1U modules at the bottom. So I've still got my little line out module there. I loved the effects aid that I had in my other, like, well, when I had the other stuff that was in this. So I sold that and just got the 1U version here. So I've got all the same algorithms that I had in the last one. So loads of reverbs, delays, choruses, filters, distortions, stuff like that. We've also got the little duat, which is like a dual attenuator. And then just lastly, this little patch bay, which is just patches CV out from the MPC. But let's talk about the Taiga. So 3 oscillators, 2 filters, 2 envelopes, probably the shittest delay I've ever heard in my life, but I like it because of that. I've got loads of nice delays with the effects aid, so I use this more of like a distortion. But I can honestly say, yeah, if you're into sound design, if you're into sort of that analog type sound, that hands-on feel, you can't go wrong with this for the price point, man. Like, I was looking before to keep most of the other modules that were in this. So I was going to keep the Arbor, I was going to keep the Ghost, and just get rid of the sample drum, which would have given me, 14 HP? And I was thinking, right, if I get rid of the sample drum, I'll just get myself that little dope for a little mini voice thing that they had one before and sold it. But it was excellent. It was just like a tiny little, I think it was like 12 HP or 10 HP, tiny little synth voice that was purely analog. Bought it, put it in, and realised that it was far too deep for the case. Gutting. So I had to send that back. Then I was looking at other Instro modules. I love Instro. I think Instro is probably my favourite manufacturer other than ALM and Endorphins. I think they're just all amazing. But I was looking at the TSL from Instro and maybe like one of their envelope generator sort of things to fill in that space. But it was just far more expensive than what I would have sold the sample drum for. And if you know me, I'm a cheap fucker. So I'm not, no, like, I want to set whatever I had here, I'm selling just to replace with something and hopefully make a few quid back. So went for this instead. 3 oscillators with any possible wave shape you could think of. There's no sound that you can't get with this to start off as like a palette of noises. The fact that there's 3 of the oscillators, this to me, yeah, and fine, I know people will disagree with me, I get it, I don't care. This is like a mini Moog, but sicker. Just 2 filters. You've got standard multi-filter, like multi-mode filter that you can pick like blends of. So you can have like low pass, band pass, low pass and band pass, high pass, low pass, band pass, like all of it, mash around with it. A resonance that doesn't self-oscillate. For some people, that's a no-go. For me, banging, I can crank the shit out of this. And the more you turn this, you don't lose bass. Come on. It's amazing. 2 CVs for this filter. You've also got this little low pass gate, which took me far too long, embarrassingly long, to realize what was going on with it. I've used low pass gates before, loved them. For some reason, having it after another filter just fucked with my mind a bit, and I just couldn't understand it. My only downside about this, and again, this isn't going to be massively detailed or anything like a Loopop video or a Starsky car video or something like that. Shout out to those boys. I love your videos. They're amazing. This is purely my own thoughts. The ADSR, like the envelopes, yeah, they're so like sensitive. You've got like the amount of travel of about, I don't know, about fuck all, about like that much from it being like the snappiest percussive sound to like completely open. You've got like travel of nothing, which really pissed me off to start with. However, I've just learned to use it and I really like it. Like it's sick. Also, a little low pass gate thing. If I want to get that kind of snappy sound, like arpeggiated basses and stuff, I can just reach for this one. And it just sounds so sick. The noises that you can make from it are banging. The preamp down here in the mixer section, come on. The distortion, like I'm telling you, yeah, if you're after a sort of modular, or you're trying to dip your foot into modular, or you're already into modular, but you want something that is fully analog and like an actual proper voice. This is duophonics. You can play 2 notes at once. I don't really give a shit about that. I just play one note. I've used it as a mono synth. I've got 3 oscillators to make different chord sort of sounds with and whatever. If you're into, you want that analog, just don't know how else to explain it, just girth, weight, just obviously not a plug-in, obviously not digital. It's just dirty, man. The little noise oscillator, it's banging. It's excellent. I will say again, the delay is atrocious, mate. The delay is terrible. It's a mono delay that goes up to 250 milliseconds, which is pointless, really. You can get some sort of chorusy, sort of flangey sort of ness from it, but because it's mono, I just use this as like more of a distortion, like sound designy, distortion-y stuff, but it is banging. So yeah, there's gonna be no noise in this one. I'll do a completely separate video where I just make noises with it, trigger it from the MPC via MIDI and CV, record it into the Octatrack as different parts and put like a house tune together or something. But just for this video, my review of the Taiga, banging, excellent, delay shit, ADSR envelopes, snappy as you like, and take a bit of getting used to. But the general bosh, pucker. See you next time.